stop prompting like this to get this result. You gotta prompt like this to get this result. So the difference in the result that you get from AI really depends on your background, because AI doesn't know who you are or what you're looking for and what you want to create. The only thing that it reads is the prompt that you are typing there. If you are not talking the language it understands, you're not gonna get the result that you want. If we imagine that the foundation of web apps are blocks or small Lego bricks, we can imagine that there is a giant box of these Legos that AI has the room to choose any of them that it wants. We want to tell them exactly what we are looking for. So we gotta know some of these pre-built blocks called frameworks so that we can tell what we are looking for. This is exactly where we are gonna go. I'm just gonna tell you those words or those terms that you gotta use to actually get a better result when you're dealing with AI. Okay, let's get back to this prompt, and I can tell you what happened here. When you look at this prompt, there are some words that they are shining because we don't know what they are. One of them is Next.js, the other one is Tailwind CSS, and the other one is Chart.js. When you are using Next.js, you're telling the AI that you are looking for some serious web pages, something that has great visibility on Google when people search it. It has multiple pages, and also it's very fast. If we go to their website, this is a framework that you might use. In this case, AI is going to use the pre-blocks that are already existing. There are some samples, examples that it can find them on the internet, and then take them from different sources and then tweak them in a way that they are appropriate for your own project. If you go to the showcases, you can see what web pages or websites are built based on this Next.js framework. And this is actually crazy because most of the websites we already know and we use are built by this framework. You can see Claude, Nike, OpenAI, Netflix jobs. Most of the websites we do use every day, they are built by this framework. So it's actually very common. You could go to the template page and then check them out, what kind of templates they have. You can also check them out in a demo and see how they are working. You can see how interactive it is, and it looks great actually. And then the second buzzword that we see here is Tailwind CSS. You might ask yourself, we know what CSS is, but what is Tailwind? So CSS is the language that you use to design a web page. It basically tells where the components are, buttons, pages, and all of that. And how they're gonna look like. The problem is that most of the time there are gonna be thousands of lines, okay, maybe hundreds of lines, and also they're gonna be very wordy and they're long. But Tailwind has created something interesting. There are some tags, there are some small words that are already existing that are gonna help you to have like shorter lines, shorter code, and also it helps you to create something more modern and clean looking. If you go to the web page, you can also get a look how it works. Also, we can see the showcases, what web pages are using this. There are a lot of templates, components that you could check them out. So if you go to the components, you can see here newsletter section. You can go in, and if you're lucky, you're gonna get the code. But some of them are in a paid version that you need to pay for it, unfortunately. If we go back to the templates, you can see there are available templates. The only problem is that you gotta pay for them. Because as I said, design is difficult. Chart.js. So this is a framework. We can look at it as a library of visualization. What type of charts they have in here. Also in sample, you can see they have a very long list of different charts. I didn't know how they're going to help AI to create what I want, but I knew what I need to say, take these blocks and then create my tower based on these. Don't go and search for new stuff. I don't want that. Okay, I brought some of the frameworks over here. Obviously not all of them, because again, imagine a giant box of Legos and these are not all of them. And categorize them into 5 different categories. The first one is going to be the user interface and front end, basically whatever the user sees. The buttons, pages, dashboard, and all of that. Using these frameworks is going to tell AI that you're looking for a modern, interactive, clean-looking interface with some good-looking components. These are going to bring this context to the AI. The second one is backend, where the logic happens, where all the processing, the interactions between front end and the database happens. Basically, most of the web pages actually use a combination of these, so it's not going to be just one of them for only one page. The third one is charts and visualization. We can look at them as a library of different types of visualization models or examples that we can pull them for our own project and kind of get the use of it. Recharts, it has some more analytic charts and like graphs. Actually took a look of Chart.js and also D3.js. It has more advanced and 3D graphs and visualization we can use. I put Streamlit outside because this is not really a framework of charts. It's not a library of charts and visuals. It's a framework that you could use to bring your Python script into a simple app, and there's no need for a front end. The third one is a database. We have, well, basically wherever your data is being stored, if it's not local. And the last one is mobile apps. So if you're developing mobile apps, you gotta know some of these frameworks that you use. So React Native is a framework that you use to develop mobile apps. Capacitor, you can actually turn your web pages into a mobile app. And Firebase authentication actually helps you to have login and users. The idea is not to make you understand all of these frameworks at once, but just what kind of context they are going to bring into your project and AI understands with them. Alright, over here I also brought some of the frameworks and divided into different types of project, basically whatever you want to create, just as an example, and then what would be a proper stack to consider. Basically a package of frameworks would be a useful one for your own project. Next time that you want to create a web page, you shouldn't just describe what you want, but also you should describe what type of building blocks that you want. And that changes everything. Thanks a lot.